Yes, it's me, the Kid JB. For those that know me from the Bucket Up podcast to broadcasting football to reviewing Bloody Marys, after too many strangers telling me, you're funny, you should have your own show, I'm doing just that. Welcome to my digital sandbox, the I Don't Know Show. Yes, it is me, the Kid JB, back where I belong to be. I don't know, but yes, you know what I'm trying to say. The I Don't Know Show. Season 2, Episode 4. We in the booth, we in the building, we in the playground, the digital sandbox, the think tank, and wherever else. I got a special guest in the building. He can't talk, so he's going to provide the energy. His name is Brisket. You'll get to hear his story, but let me tell you mine first. Solo show today, so, we're coming through with the opinions, thoughts, head scratchers, tumblers, if you will, and so on. Responsibility. What does responsibility mean? We're talking about responsibilities today on the show, if you haven't got the drift. It's different layers of responsibility. I feel like social responsibility, covered that a couple episodes ago, talking about the social contracts of friendships and making and breaking plans and kind of the protocol on how to do that. Some of the social responsibilities can be interactions with humans or interactions with trivial things like your day-to-day items. I'll give you an example of some social responsibility that can translate to personal endeavors. I like being on my cell phone. Who doesn't, right? I used to be in the cell phone industry. I used to sell cell phones. And I used to make fun of customers because they used to care way too much about their cell phones, to the point where I told myself, when I become a customer, I don't care what kind of phone I'm going to have. If anything happens to it, I'm just going to chalk it up to the game and move forward. So with that being said, I had the same cell phone for like 8 years. It was an old Samsung, busting out all my content, all my creative endeavors all through this outdated phone. Couldn't even get some of the updates on the apps and stuff because of this, spoiled encounters I had with people and their heightened need for what it was, to me, just a cell phone, right? But now I use cell phone pretty much every day. I use it more than a computer. It's no longer just a calculator and a calendar. It provides me my desktop, it's pretty much where I work out of. And then it's where I create, all my apps. Shouts to, Reels and Instagram videos and all the other, apps that allow you to cut, crop, and paste, stuff like that. Opus Clip is very helpful. So I need my phone, The other day, I was walking Brisket, and I'm trying to socialize him with other dogs, and he got into it with another dog. So in the heat of the moment, I took my phone, and I threw it to the ground, not caring about its regard and attending to the need at hand, which was making sure my little guy didn't get eaten by a bigger dog. In the scuffle, both dogs were trampling on the phone like it was the Serengeti, and there was like what's that called in Lion King? Not a bum rush, but I don't know, a lot of animals running at once. You'll let me know. That's what happened to my phone. Picked it up, and it was broken. Couldn't even open it. The screen was, broken. I don't even know the technology, but there was like a bunch of different colors poking through the screen, and it was burning my finger. It wasn't good, okay? So, of course, I call up T-Mobile, who got bought out by Sprint, or vice versa, and I was like, hey, man, I need to replace the phone. I didn't have insurance. That's not a responsible thing to do. I removed the insurance because my thought process was, I'm not going to get a phone anytime soon. I'm not going to pay extra money. Thinking I was being responsible by saving money, I ended up being irresponsible because $330 later, I had to get myself another phone because how am I going to make this fire content if I don't have my phone, right? So I took responsibility. People could easily, blame the circumstance. Oh, the dogs broke the phone. Oh, the phone shouldn't be that breakable. Oh, I pay my bill every month. I should get a replacement phone. Oh, it wasn't my fault. XYZ. No, man, it was my fault. I took responsibility. It is what it is. I took responsibility for choosing the action to throw the phone on the ground, and in turn, it broke. So then I had to then pick up the puzzle pieces and use that responsibility to then fix the problem that I caused with my lack of responsibility. So that's social responsibility, and it kind of transfers to personal. There's some more personal responsibilities that we have that we kind of overlook. I know it's silly, but I talked about hydration and the heat stroke scare I had living in Arizona. But you often hear people going throughout the day, I have a headache, and then people saying, did you eat something? Did you drink water? And it's kind of dismissed like, you're being you're not being serious, or you're not really valuing the person's concern. But it's a real question. If you're going all day spending energy from your body, and you're burning calories and you're burning sweat and everything, it's only fair to ask, did you put anything in your body to replace that or replenish it? I mean, if you drove far in your car, you have to stop at the gas station to keep getting gas in the car. So it's a fair question. It's your responsibility to hydrate yourself. It's your responsibility to feed yourself. If you don't know what your body needs, it's also your responsibility to go to the doctor, get a handle on these things. There's definitely an argument to be had on the American healthcare system and, insurance. If you have it, even if you don't, there's, pros and cons to it, obviously. But that's not even the case. The fact that taking the initiative to find out what's going on with you is a responsible measure. Sadly, we're very reactionary and reactive type of beings. We don't fix something until it's broken. And sadly, we do that with our bodies. And a lot of the times when we find out that there's something wrong with us, it's in a way worse state than had we tackled it, up front. So you have an ailing injury, something bothers you. It's no longer responsible to chalk it up to just that's how I am, or that's how I sleep, or that's just how I feel. I don't drink water. I'm not hungry right now. These are forms of things that make you responsible. If you're responsible for your body, you're responsible for, you're the captain of your own sea. These little things that are, they sound like no-brainers. If they're not being carried out, then somebody's responsibility, their ability to take on other responsibilities are a little shaky. That takes me to my next point, man. Taking responsibility for our emotions. We're reactive beings and we're emotional beings. How many times have you heard people say things like, I'm sorry, I was just hungry. I was just in a bad mood. I didn't mean to say that. I was just. Well, I hate to say it, but it's your responsibility to get yourself out of that just stage. I know what type of person I am when I'm hungry. I know what type of person I am when I'm hot or anxious or sweaty. I'm the worst type of person. I know that I don't give off the best vibes. I know that I'm not providing the best energy. I know that I'm not someone you really want to be around. Many things can be true. I can write it off and say, yeah, I was a grump because I was hungry. But the reality is, it was my responsibility to make sure I wasn't hungry to the point where I portray grumpiness or make a situation go sour because of my emotion at the point. It's my responsibility to fix that. That translates to even external things. Work. I was late because traffic was busy. No, I mean, that could be true. I was late to the studio today. That's fair. There's a lot of traffic. But I could have taken more responsibility and left 10 minutes earlier, 11 minutes earlier, 11 and a half minutes earlier. It's just that little nugget of responsibility that gets overlooked, And I think what comes with this responsibility is just, starting slow, getting back to you got to drink water, you got to eat food. We're all emotions, right? We all carry emotions. We all portray emotions. We relay emotions. But the way we go about it are different, Like, you don't have to get mad and that be your emotion for every time something goes bad, right? You could change it up. You could be sad, right? But no, we got to balance it out. But taking responsibility of your emotions is, a step towards how to become a more responsible person as a whole, because your emotions, your hunger, your physical being, your chicken, if you will, that's your money. Shouts to Marshawn Lynch, your body, this is all your money right here. This is where you make your money, So taking responsibility of being, healthy and having solid, nutrition and making sure you're not spazzing out on people because your emotions or whatever is forms of responsibility. These responsibilities can extend and box you out to no longer make you the main character of your life. I'm not a parent. I'm not. I don't have any children. I am a child. I have parents, and I know what it was like. I can only imagine what it's like to raise us three in the time that we, came up and in the place we came up. So I don't have that insight. But I do know that when you raise a kid or you have a child, their lives become priority and your life becomes secondary. And sadly, I see this translate in other forms of parenthood, Proud to announce I'm a dog dad now. We're bringing it back to my man Brisket as we can explain, that scenario. But simply put, man, when you have a child, when you have a dog, when you have a cat, when you have an added responsibility, your wants and needs kind of become secondary. Now, that doesn't mean you can't eat because your kid comes first, but you should know that you need to eat enough or drink enough water to not get dizzy, to not get, cranky or whatever these emotions I spoke on earlier, in a sense that you can't even, raise your kid or be that, provider that your kid needs because you're thirsty, you're hungry. You got to do those basic responsibilities. Hydrate, feed yourself, make sure your emotions are in check. Then you can be that parental figure. But it's hard for you to mold somebody when you're not even, kind of have a handle on things yourself. So getting to that, man, I was story time, Sunday night, I was feeling, why not? Let's hit the hot tub. Something spoke to me, I'm not a religious dude, but something came over me. Bro, go to the hot tub. You've been working out crazy hard, you know what I'm saying? Go treat yourself. Walking down to the hot tub. And I knew that the pool next to me and the hot tub next to me, my apartment has been closed. So I knew I wasn't going to that one. There's another one that's nearby, and I was like, I'm going to walk to that. But just something about, I don't know why, told me to walk past that pool. And as I did, this cute little puppy comes walking up to me. And I said, oh, what's up, buddy? So I pet him. And some lady who was also in the pool said, I don't know whose dog this is. And I said, what? And she said, yeah, he's been out here for hours. And everyone just assumed that he belonged to somebody because there was just a bunch of people at the pool. That's the bystander effect. That's actually how 911 was involved. A bunch of people saw a lady being violated outside of a building, and everyone just assumed the next person was going to call the cops, and nothing happened. That's what happened to my man here. Everyone just assumed, oh, he belongs to them. Oh, he belongs to them. And my man slowly but surely saw people trickle out of that pool and was left by himself. So whoever was responsible for my man didn't do his job. So that Sunday night, I bring him in. That next Monday, the vets were closed because of the holiday. So me and my man got close for about a day and a half. Bring him to the vet. Turns out he's chipped. We contact the owners. The owners tried giving him to another home about a year ago. And the people they gave him to have not been responsible, putting my man second. So my man has been running away, trying to find a better home, and he luckily stepped into the best possible scenario he could ever imagine. So I want the world to get to know my man Brisket. And his name is Brisket because not only is it a name that I've had in my doggy vault for a while, but for those that know me, the best thing I do is around Hanukkah time is I cook a brisket. So the best thing I could do now is raise this brisket. So I want to thank the parents for taking the responsibility of attempting to rehome him because he found his way to me. And now it's my responsibility to make sure that I am fed, I'm hydrated, I'm not cranky, so I can put my best efforts towards my man Brisket. How's that sound, bro? Sounds like he likes it. So going forward, when it comes to responsibility, I feel like take a deep dive in what you got going on in your life. Are you a parent? Are you a coach? Are you a teammate? Are you a friend? Are you a producer? Are you a doctor? Whatever you have responsibilities that transcend and extend outside your personal ones. But you're not going to be able to conquer the external responsibilities if you can't capture the internal ones. So before you put on someone else's coat, make sure you're bundled up and you're warm and you're ready to take on the effects of this earth. Because if you ain't got it, the person you're taking care of won't get it either. Make sure to tap in with us weekly, daily, hourly as we continue to spread the word on how to get this world in a better productive space. And I mean that with responsibility, productivity, and then also studio production. Because, we got a great platform. We got great cameras and lights and action. Super excited for this season as it's continuing to grow. It's continuing to flow. And we're adding members to the team. So for the I Don't Know Show Season 2, it's starting off with a bang. And it's only getting bigger and better. Brisket's here to stay. I'm here to stay. And we want to say, have a good day? I don't know. We wanted to keep it a rhyme, but for the I Don't Know Show, for JBNB, Season 2 in the books, and we're on our way to, bigger and better things with bigger and better responsibilities. And we're going to handle those, right, boy? That's right. But tune in, turn up, tap in, and buck it up.